Hi, welcome to Matt Bajerski YouTube channel. It's a beautiful day. Oh, look, what are we looking at today? Hi. It's a beautiful day to talk about an amazing subject that I can honestly say I have experienced. Not many things I've experienced, but this is one of them. And it's about energy and about how we see energy and what is energy? What does it mean? And, oh, I've never seen it. You're talking a load of rubbish. Okay, well, just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just means that it doesn't exist in your world at the moment because you don't see it, or you're not willing to see it, or you just think it's not there, so you've cut yourself off from all magic and all that amazingness. We only use a certain amount of effort or energy in our brain, but if we can open up to more of that energy, more of what we use in our brain, we can see more, we can hear more, we can feel more, we can connect more to everything. There was a film called Lucy. It came out and it was fascinating because when I watched it, I was like, whoever wrote this knows exactly what energy is and knows exactly what life is about and how we've been suppressed to not being able to use our ultimate power. So what is energy? What is it? Every single thing that you see in this world, everything that you touch in this world, and everything that is around people is energy. It is a life force. It don't make the mistake. It isn't the soul or the spirit as much as it's a complicated one. When we get to this point, we have to go delve really deep when we talk about spirit. Is it energy? Because it goes beyond this touch, because we think so limited. But in essence, you will argue, if you are a philosopher, that the spirit, the soul, has weight. Because many people have weighed somebody with before they move into the spirit world. A lot of people would also argue that the breath leaves the body, therefore there was weight within the breath. So there is argument with that, and I can understand how people will argue with that. But let's go back to where it's a little bit more safer. The spirit that we have, for me, is energy, but it's unique and it's a dual energy. It's not just black and white, it's dual energy. So does spirit energy die? No, it doesn't. It lives forever. It's infinite. It is within and around. It can be magnificent, or it can be contained. It can be whatever it wants, whatever shape, size, form. With the human body, we have this life force, because if you're dead, you're dead, but yet the body's still there. So why is it that the body is alive 1 minute and then dies the next? Because of the energy that is within us. The energy that we create is called life force. The spirit is within that. It's part of that. It is that. So in essence, the spirit is energy, but it's far more. It's not just energy, it's far more. But if we focus on, let's just say, one aspect of energy, let's talk about our life force, which our spirit creates this energy around us and within, because it's always flowing. It's very, very beautiful in its essence, because when you see energy moving around the body, depending on how one person is to the next person, the energy can be moving in a completely different manner. Now, there was one point that I believed that I'd got it. I thought, I've got it now. I know when a person's ill and when a person's healthy. I know when a person's in a good mood and bad mood, because as I'm looking at the energy, I can see what's going on. And I don't know if I ever told you, but for the first 9 months of my life as a healer, I wrote everything down because I was told to write it all down. And I wrote it all down. And after 9 months, I realized that I was holding myself back. And because I realized that what I'd written down is a grain of sand on a beach. And it was kind of pointless, meaningless, because nothing stays the same. Everything changes. Energy changes from moment to moment, from the environment, from how you're feeling, to new illnesses, to new situations in your life, to new people coming into your life, and what you eat, and so on. So it was like I was writing down about how a crystal can heal somebody, and I was seeing patterns of the same thing, but not the same. It would be like if I wrote a book about crystals, it's like you're tapping into just a small fraction of what crystal can do. And when you say this is what a crystal does, it kind of upsets me when I do that, when I say that, because what I've done is set a precedent to what that crystal does to you, and yet I know that that crystal does far more. So I am not giving justice to a crystal when I write something down about the crystal. And that's why I made a crystal channel, to infinitely talk about crystals and how they change and evolve every day, and how they help people in so many different ways. So moving back to our life force, our energy, I was watching people, and when they were lying down on my healing bed for the first 2 years, I was watching the energy. I was learning to see it. I was practicing every day how to see energy around somebody. And some days the energy would be colourful, some days it would be translucent, some days it would be vibrating at different frequencies, and it would shift and shake, and it's like I wrote so many things down that it really some things were connecting and making sense. Oh, now I get that a little bit. But then there'd be a spanner thrown in the works, and I go, oh, well, I'm back to square one again. And I was fighting with myself because of my programming, because of how my teachers, how my society taught me that the only way you know something is when you know it. And once you know it, then you know it. Not in this field of work. Not in this field of work. In fact, the more you learn, the more you realize you know nothing, which is a beautiful thing because it's a process that continues. It's forever evolving. And so a true healer can never say, I know exactly what that is, and I know exactly what to do. Because you don't until you get to the moment of healing that person. And then the secret of pure energy healing is becoming completely open and to clear away the past of all you've learned, and to make the person in front of you a clear vessel, an oil painting ready to be painted on a clear canvas, and then to work and flow with that energy and to see where the block, where the issue is, where the root cause may be, what needs to be healed, what needs to be just worked upon a little bit more. And it can be like ABC, it can go to Z to B. So X never marks the spot, and the energy that's flowing around your client can be completely different from 1 hour to the next. So then I realized that I was watching all these people saying, oh, have a photograph taken, this is what your aura is. But I okay, then let me just, because I was very much like this, you can't fool me. So I sit down, I have a photo taken, then I get up 5 minutes later, I'd sat down, they said, oh, you've just had one done, you don't need another one. And I'll say, why not? I want to see my energy if it's exactly the same. Then they take a photo and they'd be completely different. And I said, look at this photo. What does it tell you? Don't want to know. They don't want to know. They don't want to know. Well, why don't you want to know? I'll tell you why you don't want to know. Because the machine is actually giving you information that your energy changes at any given moment. Isn't that beautiful? Can't you sell that to your client? And at this moment, this is how you feel. And a lot of these people with machines are now starting to change their chip and say, actually, this is a good thing. Why is that? Because at that given moment when they took my first picture, it had purple around me and I was working with spirit. Basically, I was doing psychic readings and healings. And then I got up again after like 10 or 15 minutes and did a healing session, went back and it was green. So, and so your energy changes because of what you're doing at any given moment. So yes, the machines are great for that moment and say, well, just at this moment, right now, not in 20 minutes, because we don't know what's going to happen to you in 20 minutes. We don't know what you're going to eat in 20 minutes that might cause an issue in your body, or meet somebody who might cause you great harm, or somebody who you meet and cuddle and causes you great power and infinite healing. So I realized that Mark, you gave me a healing session a week ago and I feel amazing and blah, 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 blah. But You don't know what's going to happen in 3 or 4 days if you don't hold on to that energy and work with it. So as I'm watching the energy move around, I start to realize that everything is not written in stone. Everything is whatever it is at that given moment. So by living in the moment, you're always able to be open to anything as a pure energy healer. And that is a beautiful metaphor for life. If you're stuck in your head by one belief system, then that's all you'll ever be. But if you're open to anything, then you're able to see the change, the shift, the movement, and that in your life is a beautiful thing, because you can see new opportunities coming into your life that you were blinkered prior because you were told ABC. Things change all the time, guys. So this is why I'm saying, when you're working in an environment of becoming a healer or learning to heal, your environment's important. So the music you play, like this music that I had made, it's always playing. It's giving me the openness and the feel. If I'm wanting to work more with spirit, I would be playing more Gregorian chants to be able to bring that perfect energy into the room and clear the negative energy from that room, and so on. If I'm wanting to heal clients, I have to heal myself and work on my body. Meditation with the right music, healing myself, self-healing, and feeling my body, feeling the energy around my body. All of these things are so important. What we put in our mouth, who we work with, who we live with, what our thoughts are. I mean, come on, your thoughts can cause so many issues on your daily life, in your daily life, along the journey of the path of healing, of spirituality. So many people have sent me messages saying, Mark, I've started the healing work. And I've said, good for you. I'm starting to see things that I've never seen before. My hands vibrate, or I can actually see through my hands. I start to vibrate out of sight. Again, another thing that happens to us when we start to raise our energy level. I'm writing in a book called Seeing the Invisible. Perfect timing right now. And part of this book is about how, I'm not going to say it, but it's incredible how we can change our energy to manifest in so many different ways. We can. It's just that we've lost it. We've lost it because the bullies, the playground bullies, stopped us from being who we're meant to be. So if a playground bully sees you shining, and they're going to come over and dampen you, they're going to take you away, because if you're shining, everybody else comes around you and wants to be your friend. But the bully doesn't want that. The bully wants nobody to be friends. The bully wants everybody to hate each other, so he feels safe in his bully nasty environment. And so the system is the same thing. The people who work in the system at the very top, the ones who control the system, these are the people who don't want people to shine, and they don't want you to shine. They don't want you to shine, because if you shine, you grow and you become powerful. If you become powerful, you become a danger to those very people, the playground bullies at the top. So we learn to work on our energy and see it and feel it, and it takes time, and it's a beautiful journey. It isn't, oh, it's going to take you 2 weeks, it's going to take you 4 days. No, in 4 days I can help you see glimpses, and then you go, Mark, I swear I've just seen that. And I thought, yeah, now stop thinking about it, know it's real, and get on with your life, and know it's there. Don't focus on it, don't tell everybody, just say, okay, I've seen it, so I know it exists, let's move on. By doing that, you have a great foundation to be able to see it more and more. If you need to see it all the time, you block it, so you won't see energy. So it's just got to become a part of everyday life. And some days you'll see it more, and some days you'll see it less. Some days you'll see the energy around people, some days you won't. Some days you'll see it around your pet, some days you won't. And it doesn't matter, it's okay, it comes when it's meant to come. You'll see it when you're meant to see it. So a lot of healers say, oh, I see it more than this healer, and oh, I know more about it than this. Oh, this is just like, this is brainwashing of a schooling system. I have to be the best. I have to cross the line first. All nonsense. Personal path is about what you see. So I'm going to show you something now. Okay. I have some bonsai trees here, right? Can you see them? The bonsai trees, the little bonsai trees. Okay, the reason why I have bonsai trees, right, it's really, really simple. Is because they're outside of the window and I can focus on their energy. You see, everything that's living has energy as well, and a very powerful energy, as well as things that are not living, like a stone or, you know, a mountain. A mountain has energy from Mother Nature. Everything has energy. But okay, so a plant, it's alive, it's got its energy. So I'm looking at the biggest bonsai there now, and its energy is about 2 inches away from it. It's very light, it has layers, lots of layers, and it's just glowing. It's not vibrating or buzzing or moving, or it's just glowing. It's just a perfect energy. Now I've got another bonsai which has kind of died. It wasn't watered. There is energy around it, but it's very different. It looks very, very different. When I look at it, it almost, and to explain it doesn't mean it dead, it just looks different. So is it dead? Is it alive? I don't know. There's no leaves on it. It may come back to life. There may be some leaves because the other bonsai died as well, and that's coming back to life. So as I look at it, it's got energy around it. So is it living energy or dead energy? I don't know at the moment, but I see a different energy from that plant to the other plant. So I'm looking at another plant now, another bonsai, and I look at the energy of that. So what I'm looking at now is there are 2 stems, and at the tips of them stems, they are vibrating at around about 1/2 inch, and it's just kind of moving slightly. The rest of the plant, I don't see as much going on around there. So you see, when you start to look at it a bit more and start to look at your own energy on your hand and start to see the energy around your hand and where it is it here, is it here? As I look at my energy, and to see energy, you have to look past it. And again, it's always a bit of a challenge for me to talk about that. Leila Sati, when she was on the courses here, she explained it extremely well. But for me, when I look, I can see here, there's a joint of energy moving from here to here. So that's what I'm seeing at the moment. One line zooming across here as I'm looking past. So I've tried to explain before how to see energy. And seeing energy isn't looking at it, it's looking past it, it's looking further down the road. So as you look at the hand, you're looking further down the road, not at the fingers, because if you're fully focused at the hand, you won't see the energy. So you've got to, gently make your eyes go distant, further distance. It's really hard for me to explain right now, but that's the way I look at energy. I don't look at the tree, I look past the tree. I look further away, and all of a sudden I start to see the energy moving and shifting and turning, or maybe vibrating. So all of these things are a wonderful thing. I guess the bottom line is that each one of us has an interpretation about what we see. So you may see somebody across the road and your interpretation from them will be different from mine. Not that mine is wrong and yours is right. You may have picked up on something that you are far more attuned to than I am. And I may have picked up on something upon that person that I am far more attuned to, because that's the way I feel and the way you feel. Okay, that makes sense. Of course it does. So we all have a gift in seeing and feeling and being. So what I would always say to you, if you were learning how to see energy, when you see energy, I would like you, instead of running to a teacher, to say, okay, now my Marcus has given me some examples of how I can see energy. What is it I need to focus on when I've seen that energy to make a connection between the energy I see and what the energy is doing at that given moment? What I did was I started to listen to my inner voice and ask myself, what is it I'm seeing, and why is there a connection between here? And sometimes, if within practice, within looking at somebody and seeing them and seeing what it is, you might find a deficiency. You might find a block You might find something that needs to be healed from them, something that they need to know, and so on. So if you listen, when you are seeing energy, it is a sign that you have to connect from seeing to what you need to do to help. It can be as simple as laying your hand on a certain place that does the healing. It can be a certain thing that you say or give them information or whatever it may be. But I think that part is purely up to you to find. No guru can teach you that, because that is your belief in your inner truth. Do I believe what I'm seeing? Do I dare give them? And you only do that when asked. You never force yourself onto anybody. That is definitely a no-no with pure energy healing practitioners. You never force yourself. And you know what? If you feel like you want to give somebody some healing, you can quite easily sit there and give them the healing through your hand while they're sat there, or your thought and feelings, without even having to mention anything to them. If you're doing it from a place of love, then when you give healing, nobody's going to say no if it's for the good and for the kind of what you're feeling and seeing. Always remember, guys, that it's so important when you do these kind of things, when you are 100% both mind, body and spirit. Other than that, turn your attention on yourself and work on yourself by self-healing in a pure energy healing technique. So it's a beautiful path to be on, is energy. I hope I've explained it a little bit to you, but you know what? I can spend maybe, I could probably do 6 months in energy and still not even touch the essence of what energy truly is, and how powerful it is, and how we can change energy by any given thought and energy work that we work as pure energy healers. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope to see you in Canada, April the 10th, 11th, 12th and 13th, Easter long weekend. And I'll be there to work alongside you for 4 beautiful days. I hope to see you there. And also June the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th on the Costa del Sol. That's it for this year, and I hope to see you all there. We're nearly full, so it should be great, and we'll have a great experience. We'll learn so much about energy and how it can change and transform your life to live and be in happiness, and to love yourself as much as you should be loved. Take care, guys. Have a lovely day from my heart to yours. Bye.